I don't like sitting on the side like this. I don't like sitting on the side of the couch like that. Hey everybody, again, my name is Aya. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel, A Very Good Life. I am a feminine shaman, uh, here to assist you with your shamanic journey to assist initiates on their healing path as you ascend. Um, ooh, that's dangerous. All right. So some disclaimers. My hands are dirty. I've been playing and making incense and stuff like that. Okay. We're talking about the sun and Cancer today. Cancer is one of my Cancer people are some of my favorite people. Maybe it's because my North Node is in Cancer, and I have my 11th house is in Cancer. Um, they're often like some of my best friends because their emotional maturity level. I remember a sister Cancer that I had. We used to like sit in a car and cry together for fun. We both like it feels so good to cry. Nobody else understands. Like I just really love Cancer people. Like one of my other Cancer sisters, she'd be like, if you need me to hold you like a baby so that you can get the healing that you need, I'm here for you. And I love you. They're like some of the only girls that can like get with me as far as like on my level of healing that I need in a friendship, and we can give it back to each other. I love those girls so much. The guys too, very nurturing, very fun loving. Okay, so if you mix Cancer and the Sun together, you're going to get a great mixture of power and emotional intelligence because they care very much so about like intimacy. Okay. If you spend time with them, they're going to give you a good listening ear, which is why it's very draining for them to be around people. They don't know anything else but intimacy. Now, some of you might have different experiences with Cancer. If you're dealing with a dark side of Cancer, a Cancer that's in their shadow self, it's going to be a different type of experience. But we'll talk about that. So let's first talk about like a Cancer childhood. What would make someone so motherly like that? Um, because they saw the needs. They saw the need of their mom. They saw the need of their family, and they had empathy, and they wanted to make sure everybody was okay. So a lot of times they put their feelings to the back burner and listen to everyone else. So people in the family may not even really know who their Cancer family member is. They just kind of dump on that person. That's not healthy. No bueno. It's not fair. So the Cancer person will want to break free from their family because of that. They'll feel like overwhelmed, burdened emotionally. And kind of like the Chariot tarot card, the where they want to take what little bit of life force energy they have left and get the haul on. So you so Cancer is like kind of they're known for like being crabby and shutting down because they never really had a safe space to let out their emotions. They didn't really have a listening ear. So they're not used to being listened to. They're used to being the one doing the listening and the caring and being the psychologist or whatever. So it takes practice and work for them to learn how to let go of that control because it becomes a thing of control when you're used to being in a certain role. It's a role that they're playing. That's not all of who they are. They a lot of times they're multi-talented, have lots of gifts, very artistic, very psychic, but they put themselves to the back burner in order to heal and help out other people. And so oftentimes Cancer people need the nurturing and mothering that they give to others more so than anyone else. A lot of times with leaders and healers, you know, their superpower comes from not getting their needs met. So a sun in Cancer could be like your favorite person to hang out with, very fun, but when they close the door at night, they're depressed, they're crying, they're miserable, they're unhappy because they're trying to keep up an energy. Hey, Angela, both of your parents are cancers. Oh, okay, that's a interesting experience. Depending upon how you experience them or the placements in your chart, your sun and your moon would that would tell me how you experience your parents. Um, because you could have, hey, Coach Michael, you could have really great Cancer parents who are emotionally intelligent and emotionally available to you, or you could have dark-sided Cancer parents who feel like the world is against them, who keep themselves closed off, who don't want to open up, that need you to mother them, that need you to parent them, you know. Cancer people are very independent. People might mistakenly think that they are needy or helpless, and they might even think that too, depending upon what type of parenting they had. So you have two types of cancers. You have the like super independent cancers who can do everything for themselves, take themselves from nothing and build themselves, nurture themselves all the way to having everything they need, and then some to take care of their families. Or you can have the dark sided cancer who make themselves sick with worry for their family and for other people, make themselves sick to the point to where the only way they get love is from not being well, you know, or they end up in codependent type relationships. So that would be a cancer operating in their dark side. And you can get a cancer can become emotionally abusive depending upon the type of energy they absorbed in their childhood. They could um, not have a healthy expression of their emotions at all. So it can go to two extremes. A cancer that is like full of fun, loves taking care of people, love to give their gifts and their talents, love to share the emotional space with people, look forward to your friendship and stuff like that. Cancer that can cook and who is domestic, and Cancer man will love to take care of his family. That's all like the positive side of Cancer. Or you can have a Cancer that does it all begrudgingly, like they feel obligated to do it. They want to break free from it. They'll put themselves in that situation and then complain about it. Or they'll make you feel like they want to get away from you, but that's the only thing they know. Because cancers are creatures of comfort and of habit. Angela B. Vlog says, if it'll come up on my screen. Okay. My Aries sun is in the second house. Aries moon is in a, oh, okay. Aries moon in the third house. My dad was more of my nurturing type. I felt safer with him as closer growing up. Cancer dad and mom. Okay. All right. So you experience Aries energy, sun and Aries energy in the second house. Your dad likes to take care of his family with money. He shows he cares with money, it looks like. And then the moon. Thank you, Angela. And then in your moon, your mom, your see where your moon is placed and your sun is placed, and your experience of your parents, it's your experience, your perspective of them. So you might tell your parents how you feel about them, and they be like, "What? That's me," but that's how you experience them. So you might experience your mom as someone it looks like she takes up all the air in the room. doesn't let anyone get a word in. It's all about her rage and her anger. And she has to tell you, and she's going to tell you about it. Might be inappropriate sometimes, but you're like, I'm here. I'm listening. I know. I get it. I see it. I agree. Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, son, but the cancer people are in general my favorite friends, my favorite crushes. Um, I love I can even deal with the crabbiness. I'm a Scorpio sun, so I'll be like, I get it. You need your space sometimes because they can flip. Their energies can flip. They can at one minute they'll be talking to you, um, and you'll be having a good time, and then the next second they'll shut down and you'll be like, what just happened? You know? And it's honestly because they cancers absorb a lot of energy. They absorb the energies around them, and they don't a lot of times don't have an off switch on how much they're giving. They'll overgive to kind of overcompensate for their insecurities. They just want to be loved. They're just cuddly and they really want to be loved, but they want you to read their mind because that's what how they meet other people's needs. They read other people's minds, so they expect for you to be a mind reader too, and give them what they need. And if you don't, they will flip on you, and you'll feel like, what the hell did I do? you know and so they may not be all that great at communicating, that I am giving you my love, my affection and attention, and I need it back in return. Or B, I need some space and I need some personal time because I've been giving all day long. They kind of expect for you to read their energy because that's what they do, and that's what they've been doing since childhood, because that's how they survived in the environment that they were in. They had to mother and nurture their mom and their dad, type of thing. Um, and so they take their emotional space pretty damn seriously. And they're really private because they don't want people to come in and encroach on their private space, on their privacy. They really are very territorial of their intimate space. So you might try to get to know a cancer person, but they won't let you in. And you'll be like, so what the hell am I? I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. You know, you feel like they're playing like emotional games with you. Is Sun and Cancer similar to Moon and Cancer in regards to closeness to the mother? That's an interesting question. So the moon is more like the skin that you're in and what makes you feel comfortable. So the sun and moon, the sun and Cancer would be similar to the moon and Cancer in a sense. It would be similar. It would be similar. But I describe the moon more like, okay, so even if you didn't have a downfall, like the sun goes through a downfall, the sun goes through its evolution, the sun in Cancer is becoming a Cancer, the moon in Cancer is in Cancer energy. It you are an embodiment of Cancer energy. Like you need to be at home. You have to have like your comforts around you. You are psychic. You need like your home to embody the comforts for you and your psychic energy. You probably need like fish tanks around you. You need the sounds of water around you. You need to go to bed at a certain time because since you're ruled by the moon, and your moon space, you need to regulate your cycles. I feel like even more so than the sun sign. is more like learning this lifetime how to do that, to pay attention to that, as the moon in Cancer is that. I'm sorry, I got dramatic. But yeah, the Cancer moon is the embodiment of that energy. You're like, it's the touch and the feel of who you are and how you live, and you can't help it. And this, and like, as for a sun signs try to fight against the current a lot of times. Like, ugh, I don't like my sun sign. Ugh, but say for instance, my moon is in Libra. There's no fighting that moon. People don't fight against their moon sign. It's the skinnier, I guess. I don't know if I explained it right. You know. Um. Okay. So yeah, the sun in Cancer, or the sun in the fourth house, will feel fulfilled by being a mother, and that could be having children of their own, or mothering people around them, and that could be a man or a woman, or having a family, because Cancer is more about having a family unit, being at home, having a foundation. And so they need their home, and they need their comfort, so that they can have a hideaway, a hiding place from the world, because the world can be too much for a Cancer person. Ah, okay. I'm learning to read birth charts. Your videos help me learn so much. Would you say house placement is how we view our parents, sun, moon, rather than the sign? The house placement is like the part of life, the part of yourself, or the part of your life that sun, or I'm sorry, that the planet is um in. So if you said you have the moon in the third house, so um your moon, your third house, your how you communicate is impacted by the moon. Your communication is impacted by your moon, the moon energy. All right. Lil Bit Caesar says, I have Mars, Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter in the fourth house. Love your videos. You have a whole stellium. Wow. So this lifetime, thank you for the love. This lifetime, you definitely are supposed to learn the lessons of the fourth house. But if you ever want to break from that fourth house, focus on the energy in your 10th, so that you can have a balance. Because some people might wonder, why does intimacy, why does home matter so much to you? Why do your emotions matter so much to you? Some people probably want to break, like, why are you so intense? You know, talking about your mom, talking about your childhood. These are lessons that you have to get, huh? You weren't playing around with this lifetime. All right. I probably have missed things because I did start this video over, and I did have more energy than I do right now. I've been working today. I just did a chart for my niece. She has a Saturn conjunct Pluto in the fourth house, and Sun in the 12th, Moon in the 10th. How could I interpret that? How old is she? Because that's pretty intense stuff. And so, if she's really young, you know, I would let her live her life, because you don't there's things in her life that she can't help. She can't break away from her family, because it sounds like she's going to be pretty pissed when she gets older about some of the things that she's had to experience and go through, surrounding her. Oh, she's only 2? Oh, ooh. Okay, so hmm. Well, there's nothing. Are you trying to see her future? Is that what you're trying to do? So you're not interpreting it for her. I can say a whole lot about that. That's a lot going on with that chart. No, you can't see. Okay, for new astrologers, budding astrologers, unfortunately, with our family members and people that we love, you're not supposed to really interfere with their. And even if you see something, they have that. This is their karma. This is what they were brought into this lifetime to work through and deal with. So that's kind of the hard part of seeing these things. You can't, you have to allow it to play out how it's going to play out. I'm scared for her as well, poor baby. I understand why you're scared. It's a lot. But I mean, that's just my advice. If you feel like you want to do whatever it is you need to do, I have no say in that. But my recommendation, I don't read my family's the children's charts and stuff. I might glance at it. Ooh, ooh, she was born at 2:35. That's good. But I don't do no whole readings and interpretations because I'll probably get too involved. And I don't, and that's not just not my call. I'm sure if somebody read my chart when I was a kid, and who was an astrologer, they would probably feel the same way. But I had to go through what I had to go through in order to become the person I am. So there's nothing we can do except pray. I'll do rituals for my nieces and nephews and stuff when they're born for protection and stuff like that. So, but I'm not going to give an interpretation of a 2-year-old's chart over the internet. I'm sure you've watched some uh enough of my videos to know my interpretations of these certain things. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Mhm. But does anybody else have any questions? I see more people like popping in. I'm not really talking about the sun in Cancer anymore. I think I said everything that I could say. People with sun in Cancer are super creative, even if they don't live it out. Like some people with sun in Cancer often need to be encouraged to be themselves and live their life. They can end up like eternal codependent people where they're not focused on themselves at all, but they're focused on other people. But a healthy son in Cancer is well rounded. They have a family, they have a career, they have a great home life. What makes them feel fulfilled is having both at the same time because it's the sun, their empowerment, and the moon, which is your intimate space. And so they feel fulfilled in an intimate space. They really don't feel happy without being close to their family, to their mom, even if their mom and their family gets on their nerves. Um, Coach Michael says I have Gemini in the fourth house. Okay, is your fourth house empty? You don't have any planets there? Well, it would seem that your childhood was full of activity, fast paced activity, lots of activity, not a dull moment. Did you have a witty mother? Oh, okay. Okay. So was there a lot of was there some religion there growing up? Was somebody dogmatic? Was was somebody dogmatically religious? Was somebody's like thoughts about their beliefs always prevalent in your childhood with that Jupiter there? Was somebody praising the Lord? Okay. Yeah. That's that Jupiter energy in the fourth house. They wanted to make sure you pass down their religion to their children. Um Rahil Akil says I have Leo in the fourth house conjunct Mercury in Leo, which is also in the fourth house. Okay. You have Leo. So you have your sun in the fourth house conjunct Mercury. I have the sun in I'm reading that like you're saying I have the sun. I have the sun in the fourth house conjunct Mercury in Leo. Sometimes I have to think about these things. So did you feel like you had to put on a show? It seemed like you would have had a some fun in your childhood, being creative. Are you an actor? Was your mother an actress, even if not by trade? That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. No, not an actor. Cool. Um, Nick, Nicholas Sweet. I'm reading that like that. No, she was dramatic. Yes, she was. I could tell. I have Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Mars in my sixth in Capricorn. Okay. Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, and Mars. You have a stellium in Capricorn. Oh. Do your bones hurt? Do your bones ache? Nicholas Sweet. Where can you book me? On my website, afairygoodlife.com. That info is usually in the description, but it's probably not right now. Seth Maj is says I love you. Mwah, mwah. Okay. So my website is I wonder if I can well, I'm closed for today, but you can like book with me at some point this week, I'm sure. I'm gonna put my website. I don't think I'm not booked for tomorrow. I am done seeing clients today. That's my website. And plus, I need a little time to study your chart first before we get together. The session is an hour long and it's 125 astrology session anyway. And you pay by going to menu, press shop. Sorry, my hands are dirty. I'm sitting here making these like incense cones or whatever. Um I made some last week. I haven't perfected it yet. It's really meditative to sit here and make incense because sometimes after I have sessions with people, I'm very wired because I use a different part of I don't even know if it's a different part of my brain, but I like work with my hands and touch things to come down to earth or I go outside. I have a flat tire right now, so I couldn't go for a drive. Okay. Um, let's see. Thank you for booking with me. I appreciate it. Tay DeCosi says, so I have Scorpio in my seventh house. What's that been like for you? I have Pluto in Libra. So we're kind of twinsies there. You see how we did that? My rheumatoid arthritis, yes, right. So if you have Capricorn in your sixth house, like Nicholas Sweet, and you have all those planets there, your bones are going to hurt. The sixth house is your house of health. Capricorn rules the bones. And so oftentimes I find that people who have lots of energy in the sixth house with Capricorn, their bones hurt. Tay DeCose answered my question and says, confusing. You're right. It is confusing. With Pluto energy in your seventh house, Scorpio energy in your seventh house, or any combinations, you see, I have a stellium in Libra. So I actually have Pisces in my seventh house, but that's a totally different set of confusion. Um, your relationships are there to help you transform and transmute and learn lessons. So you might meet somebody and be like, they're the one, this is going to be forever, and it's not. And you end up like destroying each other. You're lucky if you make it out alive. And that's life as a person with Scorpio in the seventh house. You have to really mature when it comes to what you're bringing to the table in relationships, and really humble out and realize that you suck at relationships and you get it from your mama. I mean, honestly, that's what life on in this earth plane is all about, is realizing that although you are an amazing being, you suck. And learning to laugh at it and move on, keep learning, keep growing, let go. Love yourself through it. But it's okay. It's okay. We're all learning. If we could all laugh at it, then we wouldn't shadow shame each other so much, or shadow shame ourselves. That's what I call it anyway. If we all have a shadow, why are we also surprised that we have a shadow? Why do we spend so much time trying to hide it? Which is why I don't believe in falling in love. No, 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 baby. We're not falling. We're not falling anywhere. Okay? I'm starting off at the bottom with I don't know you, and I will fall in love. I will fall up in love as I get to know that it's safe for me to fall in love. Now, these new finagle men out here don't like that so much, darling. They like for a woman to be disenfranchised and believe in a fairy tale so they can sell me a fairy tale. But I'm not looking for a fairy tale. I'm looking to um, see if I can live with you. I'm looking to see if we can cohabitate, if we can do this thing together or not. And so guys be like, I feel like I'm more into you than you're into me. I feel like, I'm the woman and you're the man. And it's like, I'm not playing any games like that. I just don't know you. It's only been 3 months, sugar. Give me a year. Give me a year. Can you give me like a guy put a ring on my finger and expect for me to hoop and holler, right? For joy. And they'd be like, let's go, let's get married. And I'll be like, okay, I still don't know you. So can you at least give me to the end of the year to know for sure whether or not I want to keep this ring? And they'd be like, bitch, do you excuse me? And I'll be like, no, you're very much so excused. All right. Um, who's next? Immediate. last years of our current life is what I heard. Im- Immediate past life. Now you can see past the past lives of your ancestors, of your mom in general when you look at the fourth house. You can see a lot of the psychological legacy of your family when you look at somebody's fourth house and what you're bringing in from your ancestor pool. That's how I look at it. It's not necessarily like your personal past life. I look at the personal past life when I look at the South Node more so. That's how I read, but everybody reads charts differently. All right. So true. A lot of lesson. I had a pretty rough childhood, lots of trauma. Now I'm learning my son and Mercury is in the 10th, Pluto on the ascendant, but when I need help, can't find them. So accurate. Yeah, a little bit, Caesar. Um, you can book you can book take the Kasi on my website, averygoodlife.com. A very good life. I'm sure there it is. That's my website. To anyone who's interested in booking. I also do consultations for my other services like trauma healing and spiritual counseling. In case you're needing a little bit more than just an astrology reading and you want to know more about what other services I offer, then you can book a consultation. Okay. This is what I spend my life doing, like reading people, helping people, and making stuff. Making stuff. Cancer Sun, really, Nikki? Really, Nikki? Says Cancer Sun in the 11th, Scorpio in the fourth house. Okay. Oh, okay. Scorpio in the fourth house. So I have, so you are Virgo ascendant. You're a Virgo ascendant, yeah. Um, do you believe in past life karmic ties within relationships? I have a conjunction with my south node to my boyfriend's moon. Okay. Yes, I do believe in karmic ties within relationships. But there are some astrologers that don't read love into into charts. There are some astrologers that believe that astrology and relationships and love have nothing to do with one another. But I have not found that to be true. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when it comes to astrology, I've been studying astrology since I was like 12, 13 years old. And so people ask me what books I've read. I don't know. It's been more observation. I just kind of like how you say you do Angela B blogs. You're taking people's charts and observing their life. That's the best way to do it. You read people's charts and you ask them questions. Is this true? I see this. Is that true? You need lots of confirmation over time. All right. I used to like read everyone's chart around me, and my friends as I got older, they're like, "What the hell are you doing with all these damn like, what are you doing with all these people's astrology charts? What are you doing?" And I honestly didn't know. I was just obsessed with astrology. I didn't know I was going to be doing this or sharing any information with anyone ever. Writing articles, I didn't know. I just was kind of honestly from my past lives. All right. Um, anyone else? It looks like that's it. So there's a lot I don't know about astrology. I don't know it. This is why I love astrology because I'm always learning, always learning. There's so much information. There's so many ways that you can read things, flip things, different perspectives. Like I love pulling up someone's like progress chart, their solar arc chart, and their solar return chart. Looking at a whole sign chart or a Vedic chart or you know, what do they call it? Uh, 13th sign astrology chart. I love Ophiuchus. I love it all. And so I don't hi, it's my first time here. Mama's Boys Comic in Living Color. What's up? How you doing? I love that name, that your comic series of your comic series. My birth is 9/28/64 11:20 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks. You're welcome. All right. What does the degrees represent? I don't know, but I know that they give you information. I guess if you wanted to break it down to a science, you can look at the degrees as far as the contes go, as far as like the personality of different um, degrees, like 0 to 10 degrees and certain signs. You can look at it like that. You can take each individual degree and slice it up. 0 degrees is usually the beginning of a lesson this lifetime that you've never learned before. So that's a lot of drama there. You get all the way down to the 29 degrees, and it's the end of a karmic lesson. There's a lot of drama there. When you're entering into a new portal of initiation at 0 degrees, you're like a baby trying to find its legs, like wobbling, wobble, and at the end, it's like you're letting go. A lot of times when I look at someone's chart and they have a lot of 28 degrees, 29 degrees, 27 degrees, you know, they're having to leave their their karmic tribe, and it's a lot of sorrow. Oh my God, I don't want to leave. I'm scared. You know. And as for someone entering into someone's chart that's very youthful, full of 0 degrees, 1 degrees, 0 to 1 to 10 degrees energy, um, they're like, I don't know. It's the unknown. It's dark, So I don't know what to say if the degrees represent to kind of sum it up. I guess it would maybe denote the flavor of your experience, but I just made that up right now. What's a good way to study? I was just talking about that. A good way to study is to be obsessed and gather everyone's chart around you and then ask them questions to test yourself to see if you are on point with your interpretation. Now, astrology is a science that is really oracle based. After you get finished using it to interpret like events, you know, weather, because that's how it was originally used. You want to follow the patterns in the sky to know when your crops are going to, come to fruition, like be able to harvest, or when is the time of the year, or when the north node um or when the eclipse comes. That's usually when we get into trouble with other neighboring countries. You know what I'm saying? So it's based off of observation. After you get finished with that, it's oracle based. So in order to be a really good astrologer, you don't need a book. You observe and you use your oracle senses. Now, this is where you have to kind of be really in alignment with who you are, your inner knowing. And high priest, high priestess usually are the ones that do these types of things because you live a really clean lifestyle. In order to be a good astrologer, you have to follow the laws of the universe, and that's really with all of the spiritual sciences. That could be Vastu Shastra or Feng Shui. In order to be able to read energies very clearly, you have to be very clear. That's that's honestly how you become a good astrologer. All right. But I mean, some people read and they go to school, and some people it's embedded in their DNA. All right. You study for the rest of your life. That's what you do. You just know that you're going to be studying for the rest of your life and you enjoy it. Um, to study birth to study birth chart, do you teach? Study birth chart, do you teach? Do I teach birth charts or do I teach astrology? I don't. I'm not going to even try because it's too much for me. This is my way of teaching. Um, yeah. Anyway, guys, it was great. It was fun talking to you. I'll most likely see you guys tomorrow for the sun in its home in the fifth house in Leo. I love Leos, even though my Scorpio sun, Leos don't like me. I'll say that. I can get along with anybody. Just don't disrespect me, you know. But we'll talk about that later.